Hello, nice of you to join us on this edition of Newsroom series. I'm Dominic Iwiwu. Today we'll be focusing on the southeastern region. But before we get into that, let's have a look at our top story making the headlines at the moment. The federal government has received $52.88 million recovered from Galactica assets linked to the former Minister of Petroleum, Desiani Alison Madueke, from the United States of America. The Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Mr. Lateef Fagbemi, disclosed this at the formal signing ceremony of the asset agreement between Nigeria and the United States of America. Delivering his remarks, Mr. Fagbemi explained that $50 million of the recovered assets will be deployed through the World Bank to the development of the rural electrification project, and the remaining $2 million will be deployed to the International Institute of Justice to expand the justice system and also counter corruption. Speaking further, Mr. Fagbemi noted that the assets return marks a milestone in the ongoing collaboration between Nigeria and the United States in combating corruption and upholding the rule of law.
Today, the execution of the asset return agreement between the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the United States of America concretizes the repatriation of approximately $52.88 million United States dollars arising from the forfeiture of the Galactica assets linked to the former Petroleum Resources Minister, Desiani Alison Madueke and associates. This event is not only a testament to the unwavering commitment of our nations to fight corruption, but also signifies the commitment of the United States of America to facilitating restitution and supporting integrity and accountability in governance. The asset return agreement being executed today also ensures that the return assets are applied directly to developmental projects. As agreed, the $50 million United States dollar of the repatriated funds will be utilized through the World Bank to partly fund the rural electrification project to increase the reliability and availability of renewable energy in Nigeria. While the balance of $2.88 million will be disbursed as a grant by Nigeria to the International Institute for Justice, IIJ, to support the rule of law and counter-terrorism projects through counter-terrorism capacity building for criminal justice sector practitioners in the East, West, and North Africa.
We begin in Anambra State, as security concerns in the state are now being tackled by both the state and the local government. Aside from Governor Chukwuma Soludo's strategic moves, Anocha local government area comprising 10 communities has risen to the occasion with a strategic security summit and fundraising at Agolo. Addressing the summit tagged Repositioning Security Architectural System in Anocha, the mayor of the local government, Mr. Rome Ibekwe, says the youth must be targeted to help them fight attitudes that engender crime and make them productive.
The Security Summit held in Agulu community in Anambra State draws top government officials, security chiefs in the state, traditional rulers, and other critical community stakeholders. They're brainstorming on ways to reposition the security architectural system in Anocha to pave the way for safety of lives and property.
It is no longer enough to depend solely on traditional security measures or to hope that external forces will address our needs. The time has come for us, the people and the friends of Anocha, to take control of our own destiny, to craft solutions that are tailored to our unique circumstances, and to build a robust security framework that ensure the safety and prosperity of all.
As part of the safety strategies, Mayor of the local government area announces that there will be an installation of CCTV cameras in all the communities in Anocha, while iron gates will be built at the entrances of communities. He also says going forward, the issue of youth unemployment will be addressed aggressively to stop them being used for criminal activities.
We need to join hands to fight evil, endurance, and unproductivities of youth. For that where security issues began, and their eventually takes no crime as alternatives. The community PGs are not left out in this fight. The town unions, the home owners have roles to play in collecting the youth as well. Another is blessed, and we must concentrate on it for onwards, developmental strides and progress.
Special Advisor to Governor Chukwuma Soludo on Security, retired Air Vice Marshal Ben Chiobi, highlights the success of the public-private community partnership model in other sectors of the economy and recommends its adoption in the security sector.
We understand that the values of the Igbo people revolves around wisdom, enterprise, and the fear of God. So anything out of that, you find that that's sort of why we have some of the challenges we have. Otherwise, ordinarily, security is a collective effort. But the focus of Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo, our principal, is to see that Anambra is no longer a departure hall, but rather a destination.
On the spot, the Commissioner of Police, Mr. Nagi Obono Itam, places emphasis on the importance of community policing.
Police services at community levels, not just to assist police, but to sit together to determine what is of police value, what strategies need to be adopted, how will it be funded, how will it be supervised. Number one, to improve on the trust between the police and the people. Number two, for accountability between the police and the people. Number three, to actually provide the safety and the service delivery that is so key in ensuring that communities are safe.
Participants in the summit are relieved about the latest developments in the local government.
I told them what I feel that's best, that's better. Because we're talking about the manpower, we're talking about what we have manpower like vehicles. If we don't have vehicles, there's no way we can say you're talking about security. I've told them to make sure that we provide security for our policemen of our vigilante, so they can use vehicle to patrol.
The summit marks a significant stride in the security of lives and property for Anaucha local government area.
Commuters in all those areas.
Still in Anambra State, the people of Ozua village in Idukwenu community in Orumba North local government area of Anambra State can no longer bear the intimidation and the destruction of their farmlands by land grabbers as they stormed the Anambra State government's house to seek Governor Chukwuma Soludo's intervention. Staging a peaceful protest with placards bearing their complaints, the President General of the community, Mr. Ezechukwu Okoli, says they want Governor Chukwuma Soludo himself to, as a matter of urgency, wade in and stop the seizure and sale of the Mamu River Forest Reserve and the ongoing wanton destruction of their farmlands by suspected land grabbers.
Ozu Village, Ndiukwenu, in Orumba North local government area of Anambra State lay claim to the Mamu River Forest Reserve as their inheritance which they farm on right from the days of their ancestors. They've been singing a different, albeit painful song for several years now, with wanton destruction of the economic trees and farmlands by land grabbers and speculators who allegedly work with some government officials to take over land. The villagers say they have suffered intimidation and humiliation as they complain bitterly about their state of helplessness.
Mam Forest Reserve is being destroyed by some individuals, and that's why we are calling on government to come and help us. The farmlands are being destroyed. Economic trees are being destroyed.
Since my husband died, I don't get any help to train my children. In that farm, I would tell, since that time, all my farm, they use caterpillar and spoil it every year, since 5 years now. Even this December, now small one remain, they scatter it. Now help of some peoples, I will live. That's in the pain me.
The destruction spans many hectares, and in some areas where development is setting, the land grabbers bring down the properties, a situation that has continued despite several complaints to the Ministry of Lands.
The way they did in the other side. Government.
Not giving up, indigenes of Ndikwenu community armed themselves with placards and marched to the Anambra State Government House in Awka in a peaceful protest, seeking immediate intervention of the state government over the situation. The special advisor to the governor on political affairs meets them on behalf of the chief of staff to the governor. The President General, Mr. Ezechukwu Okoli, briefs them on the latest developments.
We are calling on Mr. Governor, Professor Charles Chukwumasoludo, to wade into this matter. Call the Commissioner for Lands to order. What he has been doing with one Judge Lin is not fair to the community. It's not fair.
Responding, the special advisor commends their peaceful conduct, assuring them of the governor's intervention.
Peace and progress is the motive of this administration, and Mr. Governor appreciates the way they continue to conduct themselves peacefully. I've also reminded them of Mr. Governor's urgent that they must not allow their forests and their land be a base for bandits, for armed robbers, for kidnappers, because the law here is very clear. Anyone land that allows the land to be used for such, that land will be revoked and taken over by government or forfeited to the government, as the case may be. So I also urge them to go back home in peace, and I assure them that government will, in due course, address these issues that they have raised.
While the people await the governor's quick intervention, they insist that enough of their grave injustice to Ozu in particular and Ndikwenu community.
Governor Francis Nwifuru of Ebonyi State has commended the unity among the state's National Assembly members, acknowledging that this unity has fostered peace, unity, and development within the state. He made these remarks during an empowerment program held at the Mbeke Isheke in Ebonyi local government area of Ebonyi State, organized by Senator Peter Onyekachi Nwabunyi, the Deputy Chief Whip of the Senate.
It's another wave of empowerment in Ebonyi North Senatorial District, as many buses, tricycles, motorcycles, agricultural equipment and cash grants are distributed to constituents to create wealth and alleviate the economic hardships currently facing the nation. The empowerment program, put together by the Deputy Chief Whip of the Senate and Senator representing Ebonyi North Senatorial District, Peter Onyekachi Nwabunyi, took place in Mbeke Isheke, Ebonyi local government area, attracted a notable gathering of dignitaries, including members of the National Assembly and other prominent political figures. The Ebonyi State Governor, Francis Nwifuru, is also in attendance, and he commends the unity among Ebonyi State's National Assembly members, which he believes has fostered peace and stability within the state.
I want to use this opportunity to thank the National Assembly members, especially from our state, our lawmakers in Abuja. It is now that we're enjoying peace and unity among the National Assembly members. Because before now, we used to have conflict of interest that often arose in power tussles against National Assembly members, destabilizing peace and unity in the state. So I use this opportunity to commend their unity.
Deputy Chief Whip of the Senate and Senator representing Ebonyi North Senatorial District emphasized the importance of the empowerment program.
The majority of the beneficiaries are all graduates that has no job. But I believe that with that many bus, with that keke or the motorcycle, the person will be able to put food on the table of his family.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Join your hands.
The governor flags off the distribution of the empowerment program, benefiting over 1,000 constituents.
What is my target? To help them to create wealth. And like I said before the bishop, anybody that will benefit from this gesture of mine, please do not sell it. If you cannot use it to create wealth, bring it back. I'll give you the fund equivalent to that.
The beneficiaries are expected to leverage these empowerment items to generate income and improve their livelihoods, ultimately contributing to poverty reduction in Ebonyi State.
Enugu State government recently commissioned 260 smart green schools across the state, an important inauguration performed by President Bola Tinubu. The green schools are part of the state government's experiential learning initiative across the 260 wards of Enugu State. According to the state government, by embedding the smart school model from the basic to tertiary levels of education, Enugu State will create a seamless pipeline where students progress from foundational learning to practical innovation. It's also believed that the experiential learning will foster critical thinking, creativity, and empower students to see themselves not as passive learners, but as active problem solvers who are connected to e-opportunities of the real world. The state government also says education is deeply connected to the challenges and opportunities, and experiential learning will solve the missing link between education and industrialization. Joining us now to discuss more on the Smart School Initiative is the Commissioner of Education in Enugu State, Mr. Nwabweze Mba. Welcome to Newsroom Series.
Hello, thank you for having me. It's Ndubweze.
Okay.
Not Nwabweze.
Ndubweze Mba. Okay, sir. Now, let's go straight into it. Now, how beneficial is this initiative to students in the state?
Yeah, these Enugu Smart Green Schools are 12-year basic education schools. So they cater to children who are between the ages of 3 and 15 years old. It is a complete delivery of the Nigerian basic education curriculum, in addition to early childhood and development. The driving reform ideology of the Enugu Smart Green Schools is the emphasis on experiential learning, which is an effort to move from rote memorization and theoretical learning to practice-based learning and skills development, beginning in early childhood all the way through basic education. The Smart Green Schools are perhaps the most meaningful grassroots development intervention in this region of the country since independence. When you consider that in every ward across all the local government areas of the state, in each smart school, 1,000 children are catered for. They're not just educated, but they're provided lunch every day. They are provided health care, and they receive complete education and childhood development within the smart school environment. And this is also a reflection of the direction that the Nigerian education system as a whole is going. If you may have seen that we have a new curriculum. There's a reform of the basic education curriculum in the country with an emphasis on skills development. This is part of the Renewed Hope agenda as well, to get Nigerian citizens, young Nigerians especially, to become digitally literate, to develop skills and competencies to be ready for the requirements of the modern workplace, where they are required to innovate and solve problems, think outside the box, and create jobs and not just wait for jobs with certificates. This is the promise of the Enugu Smart Green School.
Okay, now, a couple of people will say that it's an ambitious project to ensure that schools across the 260 wards are well equipped. Now, what is the training schedule for the teachers who would be using the softwares to aid educating students?
Yeah, so we've already started our teacher training and professional development. This is based on areas of existing and new policy reforms from the Federal Ministry of Education and Development agencies. So the teacher professional development program of the state is comprehensive. It covers the traditional areas of teacher development that you have in the national teacher education policy, but it also anticipates growing areas or new areas of innovation, such as getting teachers equipped with digital pedagogy skills, inclusive pedagogy, and also ensuring that these new skills, competencies that are now part of the requirement of the Nigerian basic education, that teachers are trained and well equipped to deliver that type of education. In our state, we have begun last year with a comprehensive assessment of our teachers, existing teachers, identifying their areas of need, and consequent upon that, we embarked on a comprehensive digital literacy training of all public school teachers in Enugu State. That has been done. We are now continuing with computer-based tests of existing teachers, but also new teacher applicants, because one of the things that is obvious is that some of the new subject areas like robotics, artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, and coding that are part of the basic education system now were not there before. So you have to, one really has to make effort to identify candidates who have the content expertise in these new subject areas, and then put them through a teacher professional development program to get them to be able to teach learners. So we have a 6-month training program for all our teachers that is being rolled out after the preliminary digital literacy training that's being rolled out from September through July. We expect the rest of our smart green schools to come online and be fully operational by September 2025. So we're really working hard to make sure that all our teachers, 40 smart teachers per smart school, when you multiply that by 260 smart schools, you see that we're looking at about 11,000 teachers, right, to get ready for the smart green school. So this is not, we know that it is not easy, and so we've started early. And that teacher professional development program is going to be continuing and continuous. After the teachers are in school, we're going to then transition them into school-based continuous professional development, where they're required to meet 40 hours minimum professional development training per annum. And this is tied to, this is a precondition for their promotion as teachers. So it's no longer a situation where you just spend time and after 3 years you come up for promotion. There has to be evidence of completion of professional development and evidence of implementation of those skills. Because the Enugu State Smart School teachers, you know, they are well catered for. They are provisioned with furnished apartments, which has internet, solar power, and they are resident in proximity to their school. And so this investment, massive investment in the human resource of teaching requires a commensurate commitment from the teachers to see that this is an investment in the future of children. And therefore, it requires them to see teaching no longer as a civil service, but rather as a profession.
Okay, thank you very much. We have been joined by the Commissioner for Education in Enugu State, Ndubweze Mba. Thank you for your time and enjoy the rest of your day. Some prominent politicians from Anambra State have been from Abia State have been commending the Abia State governor Alex Otti for his achievements in the state in the short time he's been in office. One of them is the senator representing Abia South District, Iyinnaya Abaribe, giving a pass mark on the Dr. Alex Otti-led administration in Abia State, declaring that the governor has done well. Speaking to journalists shortly after a closed-door meeting with the governor at his Ishialangwa South local government area, he commended Dr. Otti for his great strides towards bridging the infrastructural deficits in Aba and other parts of the state. He says the way it's going, there will be no stumbling blocks for the governor if he wants to.
My party is ABGA and his party is Labour, but we feel that we have gone beyond party and we are now at the point of governance. So I came to encourage him. He's done so well and wanted to make sure that we continue to inspire him to do much more for the people of Abia State. I'm from Aba, and he has done tremendously well in the infrastructure, in road infrastructure in Aba. And I see it. I've driven past there and I've seen everything. And so all I want to do is just encourage him to continue in the path that he has chosen. And the second thing is still very far away, but I do not see any stumbling block on the way if we go by what he has done at this point.
The chairperson, House of Representatives Committee on Tet Fund and the lawmaker representing Okigwe North Federal Constituency in Imo State, Miriam Onolha, is urging the executive arm of government to increase funding and allocation for federal lawmakers in order to execute more constituency projects for their constituents. The lawmaker, who was speaking to journalists at a stakeholders meeting held at the Civic Center Kweli in Onomo, local government area of Imo State, according to her, lawmakers need to attract more meaningful projects that will change the lives of the people. Also, she said epileptic power supply in Okigwe North Federal Constituency, as she appeals to the Rural Electrification Agency, the Ministry of Power, the Transmission Company of Nigeria, and the Niger Delta Power Holding Company of Nigeria to come to the area and fix all the dilapidated power infrastructure to enable the people have electricity. And that's where we close this edition of Newsroom Series. I'm Dominic Iwiwu.